The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty, Ray, and Candace.
And good morning, Scotty, Ray, and Candace, and it is Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
I had to think really hard to make sure I was right on that. It seemed like we just said it was hump day.
I know. Time flies by. I mean, just so fast. It really does. But we hope you're having a wonderful morning.
62 right now, and we're going to only get to 72. A cooling trend is coming over the weekend, and we're going to get temperatures below freezing. So if you don't have gas, you don't have maybe hay or whatever for your pets, get a little bit today because Saturday night temperatures are going to do this. And let me just show you.
And stay that way for like a week, right?
Yeah.
This is the same temperatures.
Let's look at this 7-day outlook, Candace. Here, let's pull this up for everybody. Nice, beautiful weather. And by the time we get here to Saturday, look at that. I mean, it's one extreme to the next. And look at this. This will go for the next 2 weeks. This will go, we'll get to 60 on the 20th of the month, right there at Thanksgiving. But we got some nippy weather that is coming for us.
I had someone, one of my clients that lives around Livingston, Alabama. We were talking about weather, and I said, "Oh, it's going to get cold this weekend." And she said, "Yeah, they're talking about snow for Thanksgiving week."
Wow.
I said, "Huh, I have not heard that yet." So, anyway, but I don't know about snow.
I had to go to town yesterday for a few supplies. I needed another battery for one of my cars. I ran into this fella. Him and his two friends were walking in the store, and they asked me about you. And they said they watch you every day, and they really liked you. And they had concerns about America, and they were telling me, that they were getting up in age, and they just paid somebody to bring them to the stores now.
Yeah.
They said because it's just not economical for us to own a car. And he goes, every time we go somewhere, it's $10 to be dropped off somewhere. And he goes, do you realize what that cost us over the course of a month? Back and forth. And I feel for folks like that.
Were they in the county?
Yeah.
Yeah. Meridian has I guess they still have the little transit thing that will pick people up and take them to different places. I'm not sure if they still have that, but
we need to investigate.
The county doesn't have anything that I know of like that.
And, he was showing me some things that he'd bought that had just gone up and up. And he goes, where does it stop?
Yeah.
And you feel for folks.
I do feel for folks. I feel for folks trying to just make ends meet nowadays. Because you got to buy the basic. You got to pay for the basic things, utilities.
Lights, water.
Yeah, and then you throw in insurance that is, it really is a necessity for some people.
Yes, it is.
Especially with health issues.
And this has changed. This used not to be a necessity.
Right.
But it has gotten to where, most folks don't have a home phone anymore, and this has become their communication to the world. And this is almost what you would weigh out to be $100 for something like this. Folks.
And a home phone, was so much cheaper.
Really. It was.
It really was.
Now,
but a lot of people have gotten away from that.
Can you still get one? Yes. And, like if you get it through a cable company, it's not but like $5 extra a month.
Yeah.
But you can't tote it with you.
I think you can still get it, though, through, you can get a landline put in through AT&T or, different.
See, after the phone booth left, I just lost all communication with them.
Yeah, you can still get one. A lot of people don't want to have to pay for 2 different phones,
correct.
though, so.
Yeah. Why not have everybody still on your plan and have 9 people that you pay for? Yeah.
It is good to have a landline. I know I kept our landline. Well, we still have one, but when I was, it was just me, I kept the landline for so long because I was worried that my kids would be at home because they were of age to stay by themselves at the time. And they had their cell phones, and I was just afraid that something might happen with the cell system and they couldn't get a signal if something was a major something.
I am so worried about this. You remind me of that skit from Saturday Night Live about putting the raincoat on in case it rains and it's sunshiny outside.
Look, I guess I am that overprotective mom, but I would rather be that way, and be a little more overprotected than I would.
I think we're going to take
a
poll. I think you're way overprotected.
Well,
Candace covers all bases before she leaves the house.
Well, most of the time. I don't know. When you're flying out the door some mornings,
but
it's kinda
we've
hard to
dropped ours. Now, my mother, who's up in her upper 70s, still has a home phone because it's just easier for her, and because I've tried to teach her the cell phone ways, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
Well, I don't know how all of the thing. I know used to a lot of people kept the landlines because of the 911 thing. You know, like it would be your 911 address, and if they needed to,
Yeah, that's gone.
to you. I don't know if it's gone. Is it?
Well, I mean, you can dial 911 easy.
We had to ask Odie.
Odie, where are you? Lots to talk about this morning as we start getting a few things that are coming in this morning. Here's a big one last night. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, we go to Sam Media. Let me pull this up so everybody can see this. As deputies were out and about, and they noticed somebody driving down the road. Y'all can see this. He ain't got no tag. It's late in the morning. It's after midnight. What you doing out? I'm going to have a little talk with him. They throw the blue lights on, and what happens? Oh, they take off. And here they go. 65th Avenue, you know where that is, where it joins Highway 19 there at Lee's Donut.
Right.
He would commence to running from there and go on up a couple of blocks and get to one of the stores, pull into the parking lot, and flee the vehicle. Deputies got into a foot pursuit and eventually would get him. He was pretty good at hiding, but they made an arrest, and we're going to get more information about this, about the charges. And when it's worded that way, I normally see that Ward has more charges. More was going on in that car is why he ran than just no tag.
Right. Usually you don't run unless something's, you got something pinned in
and
or something to hide.
And a lot of people will be a little lenient if you're a couple of days late on getting your tag renewed. We all know that you got a grace period.
People get a new car. Sometimes they don't go right off and get their tag that day.
Right. Sometimes I wait a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that would have been high.
I guess, yeah.
We move to our next incident that happened last night. This is all breaking as we finally get the details on this. I spoke with Ward Calhoun, Chief Deputy, just a few moments ago. We had an incident at Southeast High School last night to where a 17-year-old was arrested. A fight breaks out. The sheriff's deputy that's on duty there at the school sees it start to happen. He goes up and breaks up the fight and stops it. He notices that one of the ones that were going to be in the fight has a firearm on them. It's a 17-year-old, and an arrest was made.
Oh, goodness.
Now, immediately after this, as we'll look at this story here, as I got this from Ward, somewhere around 9:41 p.m., they would get a call that shots had just been fired at a home on Buck Newell Road, the 1800 block. Deputies arrive. They do find shell casings in the road, and the two are connected. We don't know much more than that, other than a fight at the school, someone with a gun, and then shots were fired at a home a little bit later, and they do believe the two are connected, the gunshots at the home and the gun at the high school. We'll learn more about this also as this develops today. And, of course, with it being a minor, there's not going to be any names released on this at this point unless someone is charged as an adult, and we'll see what becomes of that.
Yeah, but it started, I guess, at the basketball game. Yeah, at Southeast. So.
That's spooky.
It is scary.
We have not. This is one of the first times that I've heard of a gun actually on campus at a county school that is an arrest has been made. Now, we've heard that a lot at Meridian High School. We had an arrest, three people arrested there not long ago for this crime.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that is the breaking news that we have on all that this morning. Now, there's going to be more come out today, and as soon as we get that information, we'll get that information out to you. Look at there. Cindy Skipper watching all the way from Sugar Lock. And for those of you that are watching from other parts of the nation, that's not Sugar Lock. That's Sugar Lock.
Yeah, and also, let's see, we have somebody watching from Quitman, Lisa Ivy.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Well, as other news develops, and we got a lot to talk about today. We've got the election coming up, but sad news. And this really sinks in that maybe we all are starting to get a little older when we start losing icons like this. And I'll let you announce who it is. It shocks me.
The group Alabama lost Jeff Cook. He was 73 years old, passed away. That was a big loss.
I can't fathom it. I mean, it's Alabama. They're forever playing mountain music the way they looked then, but have gotten old. He was 73 years old, as you said.
Yeah.
And of course, his health had gone down, and he'd lost a lot of weight, and he did not look the way we know him as. But condolences to Randy Owen and Jeff Gentry and the gang of Alabama and all the fans, his family.
Yes.
Shocking.
Sad. It is shocking.
But
it does kind of it opens your eyes, People start passing away. You don't think of their age that much, until something like that happens, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and if
We're
you
not invincible.
no, we're not. And you really don't know that as a young person in your 20s and 30s. That really doesn't cross your mind. Well, you'll lose a
And I'm
best
kinda
friend in a
glad.
wreck sometimes, but
I'm really glad, too, that you don't just constantly think about that when you're younger. I mean, you don't want to be taking chances and stuff like that.
But let me tell you, when that check engine light comes on the first time, you really start thinking about what you've done in life and what you can do to make things better for those around you. It changes you.
Right.
It truly does. And if it doesn't, you're just a mean person.
I know as I've gotten older, I just want to, I don't know, you appreciate things more.
She wears rain hats when it's sunny. She locks the door in case she walks out on the carport and then unlocks it when she goes back.
Yeah.
Just be on the safe side.
But no, seriously, Scotty Ray, you do appreciate things more. I seem to feel that way, things you've taken for granted in the past, it kind of, your eyes get open to like, why did I do that for so long? Why did I take things for granted? And you want to make a difference.
You do. But I said that jokingly about you, and I had a real reference on that. My mother, bless her heart, you can go, I'm going to the car to get something out of it. You know how you don't stop your motion and you turn the doorknob? She's locked it, and I slam right into the door. I mean, that quick. She's got this fear of locking doors. I mean, just splat, you'll hit a door because she's going to lock it behind you.
Yeah. I used to be the world's worst about locking my car door when I went to get out of it. It was just a habit when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times my daddy had to come up there with the Slim Jim.
You didn't lock it.
With my car running. Now, I locked it to run in the house and get something. It was just habit. He would get so mad at me.
I could see that.
Yeah.
We've got more coming up. We had gunshots in Meridian. Does anybody believe that overnight?
I cannot. Yeah.
We got
I hate
that.
it, though.
I do
hate
too.
it. I do.
More on the way. We'll tell you all about this, what went on in Meridian last night as you slept. The Square Peg Mini Mall is located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia. And they're getting ready for the Christmas season with a large variety of furniture and over 30 vendors to browse through. You can take advantage of the layaway on furniture and not pick it up until Christmas Eve. The inventory is constantly updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Family owned and operated, where they treat you like family. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall located at 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. And welcome back with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Again, we'll get into what happened nationally last night as people went to the polls, but no true winner just yet. Everything is up in the air. We got details on that. Now let's talk about some of this local stuff. If you live in Lauderdale County, what happened last night, Candace?
Well, it was voted yes for the medical marijuana. Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel about that? Because I've heard both sides of the fence. Some people praise it. Some people go, I'm not so sure about that. What's your gut on that? Your take?
It's a thin line. I feel like if people are in pain and they need some kind of a relief from that, or if it helps them, I'm kind of for it in that sense. But again, that it's not always going to be on the up and up. Somebody's going to take advantage and abuse. Go
to a doctor and maybe fib about they're really being sick and needing it.
That's what worries me. Yeah.
Now,
and when you say that's okay to do this, is that opening the doors to say, oh, it's okay to do this and this and this later on? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see your point on that.
And so I don't want it. I didn't want it in the community, but, I don't know.
And the next thing to consider on all of this, if I understand correctly, and those of you who know this better than me, correct me if I'm wrong, this would allow to where they could have places that grow it.
Grow it, yeah.
Now, with that being said, I certainly
Sell it
hope
too,
whoever does this will have serious security, because we all know that there's bad people that would want this product.
Right.
Do we have enough law enforcement for that?
Well, right. And I'm not crazy. I'm not stupid. I mean, it's out there already. You know that. And then when you start popping stores up here and there to sell it, if that's even, I don't even
it'd
know.
be in the form of the gummy bears
Right,
and
something, yeah.
and more along the lines of that. And it would be a place, I guess, where you could go pick up your prescription, I think.
Right, I guess.
We're kind of
in the dark about it, so I'm not real sure. So I mean, I hate to even comment. I don't know. I just did not want it I didn't want it in the community. Mm-hmm. And I say, did they ask me? Well, yeah, they did, because I voted. But I mean, I guess we didn't have enough.
What's that? Because I ain't got my glasses on. What does it say there?
8,190 to 5,835.
So that was not a total take of the county. That wasn't over 50% by. I mean, of what I'm trying to do with that, but within 3,000 votes that went for it.
I guess what we can be thankful for is that we do have a vote. We do
That
have
is
a
true.
choice, and I'm thankful for that, But I don't know. But we had other races also in Newton, Kemper, and Neshoba County.
Yeah, now, Neshoba, it looks like there's going to be a runoff for the school board district, is what it looks like. No one got over the 50% mark.
That's right.
What happened in Kemper?
Kemper County School Board District 1, Chris Collins won over Rontal L. Jenkins.
I know Chris. And then
at
Newton.
53%.
And Newton, what happened to Newton? I can see the blur over there.
Newton, it was for the county coroner, and Rebecca Burton won that against Charles Kelly and Robbie Richardson, and she had a 69%.
Oh, that's major. That's a big one. I want to say Barbara Jones winning, but she was unopposed for school board here in Lauderdale County. And most on the election ballot, if you notice, there were so many unopposed. You would have had them written in. I don't know if you wrote in anybody or not.
I didn't do a write-in. I mean, so yeah, Charles Smith.
Right, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
He went back in. A lot of this happened. And of course, Michael Guest being the big winner there.
Yeah.
Statewide, he won Lauderdale County. We've got those numbers posted if you would like to look at. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I've got it loaded here on the page to where you can take a look at it somewhere. Here we go. This is Lauderdale County from last night. As you look at this, you can see the numbers here of what went on there. Circuit Court Judge, and then as you get into all of that. But we've got it loaded on the page that you can take a look at it. So I hope you voted.
I hope you did too, yeah.
Coming up, we will talk more about what's going on with the nationwide elections and what's going on. Didn't take out the way most of our analysts were predicting it, just like back in 2016. Nothing really happened like they said it would.
I kind of wish that they didn't have the pre-election rhetoric.
It's huge.
I seriously wish that they did not do that, because I think it kind of turns a lot of people off from voting if they think that it's going to be one way or another. I mean,
I think, well, what's the purpose of even going?
Right. I think it can deter people from going to vote, and I just wish they didn't have that. But again, did they ask Candace? I don't know.
It's just like trying to ask somebody out. If your best friend tells you, I don't think she'd go out with you, you'll never ask her out.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great example.
Yeah.
I didn't get much reaction over here, did I? Right here, but we'll get into this here in a minute. But that's what we're looking at right now.
It just definitely was not what everybody, I think, thought it was going to be.
Oh, no, sirree,
So,
Bob.
a lot of surprises.
Overnight, what happened in Meridian? Yep, there were some gunshots, and I thought we'd go ahead and tell you about it. We had two that happened during the overnight hours. Let's go over to 23rd Avenue. Let's pull up some maps here and show you where we had gunshots. Now, again, with these, no one was hurt, no one was injured, but this was 23rd Avenue. Here's Anderson's Hospital. If you go north on 24th, when you get right up here near the Dollar General, a block away from it, hang a right. Right up in that area right there is where gunshots were reported. Again, I back up and say no one was hurt, nothing injured. Nothing like that.
Thank goodness.
We go over to 15th Avenue. Another gunshot reported of, hey, I heard some gunshots. What y'all going to do about it? Here we go. This is Front Street is where this is. And it would be due north of here or due west of Acme Plaza, north of 14th Street, where the hospitals are before you reach the hospitals. Here's Anderson's Hospital here, Rush here, a few blocks before you get there, to give you a general idea of where things went on. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, everybody get your birthdays and anniversaries in, and at the end of the show, we will announce those.
Yeah,
So,
get those into us. I had some more notes I wanted to, I mentioned those. And let's get down in here some other things that went on last night. As we come across, let's see here. We also had reports yesterday during the time there. 55th Avenue, we had gunshots. Again, that's our old familiar Highway 19 area. Here's Highway 19 coming from the airport up to College Park. Shots west of there down Arthur Street on 55th Avenue. A common occurrence almost in that neighborhood every day.
It is.
We also had shots reported on 10th Avenue as we continue our coverage on this morning here. As we look at this is Front Street, almost the exact same spot where shots were reported overnight. Really close to there. There's something going on there. There's something to it. Now, we had an accident. This is what miracles happen every day. And this was truly a miracle yesterday afternoon, as I believe she was a mail carrier, if I'm not mistaken, had an accident. Fire departments were called. They had to call into Meridian and go, look, we need rescue here from the Meridian Fire Department out in the county. So they came, and a car ran off the road, and this was on Luther Walker Road is where this all happened, and South Anderson Road. A car was teeter-totting in a curve of falling off a ledge.
Oh, goodness.
She stayed in the car. The emergency officials came in. They ran a cable over the car to stabilize it, to keep it from rocking, and then they hooked to it and pulled the car out. What is the miracle on this is they got her on the road. She wasn't hurt. The car wasn't hurt, and she went on her merry way back to work. So
I don't know that I could have gone back to work after that. I think I'd have had to go home and regroup.
Let me find my new underwear because
Change clothes.
I think I need some new ones on.
Yeah.
Boy.
I'd have probably squalled all my makeup and everything else off and had to go home and just lay down. Yeah.
But I mean, that truly was a miracle that nothing happened.
Yes,
Can you
thank
imagine? You
goodness.
see it in the movies all the time of any weight change in the car. And it
Yeah.
could.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I feel for her.
Yeah, and most of those in
Scary.
those movies now are not believable. What was it? The transporter where you can't believe all that.
That's scary.
we
though.
did
I'm glad
have
she's okay.
Another accident where we had two people having to be taken to the hospital. This would be Highway 19 South and South Frontage Road. That's right there by Crossroads. As we pull this up, this is the scene there yesterday afternoon. I can make this no, I can't. That's as big as it'll get. But as you'll see, there's a car there, there's debris everywhere there. There's a front end totally gone there. So, but I don't think it was life-threatening, but some folks had to go to the hospital to be checked out.
It's a busy spot. It really is.
Everybody trying to jump across, go to the interstate, or which way. And with all that construction, it is a lot that goes on right there.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we had going on. We're not winners.
No, we're not. But somebody is a major winner out in California.
Yeah, the $2 billion were drawn. But if you are from Mississippi, Iuka, and I said that name wrong early. Gaucher.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it.
Yeah, look, I heard you this morning say it looks like Gautier or something, but it's Gaucher. I don't know where they get Gaucher out of.
Who spelled this word? You can't even sound that out and make it sound that way.
I know, but yeah, if you're in those two areas, you're $50,000 richer. You just got to claim it, right?
Can I start a petition to respell that town Goshay, and everybody would know what your name is? Gaucher.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I should know that. And every time I come up on that word, I stumble.
Well, it's fine. It does not sound anything like it's spelled, so that's understandable.
Things that you just can't do. That's one of them there. We go all the way over toward Vicksburg. Do you see this, what happened over there? And I brought this up and I worded it as you're trying to make a living.
Right.
And sometimes you have to take jobs that maybe you don't particularly want to do, especially one that is the overnight shift.
Right, in a store or a hotel or anything. Yeah.
And here we go. We had a hotel clerk working at the Red Roof Inn. Somebody comes in to rob. Now, let's be honest about this. Who do you know that pays cash for a motel room unless it's the no-tell motel room?
Right.
You use a credit card.
Yeah, and you don't want to track something. I
Yeah.
guess, or something. But yeah.
She was robbed. She was shot. Now, I think she's going to be okay. She's in the hospital, but she was robbed and shot. That's just horrible.
And you're getting at, like, how much cash could she have actually had?
Yeah.
Why would people think that they carry a whole lot of cash?
Change for the vending machine, maybe?
Yeah.
It bothers me that somebody cares for life that little in the direction that our country is taken.
People have no regard for a human life or respect for them or anything. And like you said, people are just trying to earn a living.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you got to take those night shifts.
Yeah, I've worked them before, and it was not fun. You had to be away from family.
But even people who work at hospitals or something, you worry about them going to and from their car, and I don't know, scary.
But that's Mississippi. That's not some far-off place, y'all.
Right here.
And a few months ago, or maybe it could be a year now, but Byram, Mississippi, which is on the outskirts of Jackson on the west side, like you're going to Vicksburg, they had someone that was murdered at a hotel that was killed and robbed.
It's scary.
Just doesn't get any worse than this stuff, y'all. Patsy Gilbert, how you doing? I see you out there. Hope you're doing good. Got a smile already this morning. Now, I've got a study that has been conducted, but I don't think most Americans really needed a survey for this.
Yeah.
You ever bump into somebody that, and let me say it the best way that thinks they're pretty?
Yeah.
You know that type? You might remember it from high school. They just thought they were it on a stick. Yeah.
Yes.
They've done a survey, and again, you don't need a survey. People that act that way are more prone to be, what's the word? Selfish. I am
seen some
so
very,
into me.
Very selfish people, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's all about me, you know.
The me movement.
Right.
It's not the Me Too, it's the me movement.
Right.
But there are really a lot of people like that, and it's sad to say. Do something for somebody today. If you really think it makes you feel good to care about yourself, do something for someone else. Break the trend today. Try something different.
And do something for somebody else without wanting recognition for doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like some people go, oh, look what I did. You know, you're not supposed to be that way. You're
Do
really
it
not.
quietly and walk away whenever you can help someone. That's our thoughts. Maybe you believe the way we do. Maybe you don't. We hope you do.
Make a silent difference.
I ain't never heard it worded quite like that. Silent difference. Candace's quote of the day. I'll have to remember that. We got more coming up. We're going to talk about this day in history, and then we're going to get into what went on last night. All that's on the way with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Good morning.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop. Themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, and more. Gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Homes will be merry and bright with a custom wreath or centerpiece. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers, and it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Charm and beauty await your home. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
On this field, as on the gridiron, each inch is fought for and marked by sweat. Each inch taken through disciplined training. With a Kubota L2501 tackling each inch in the trenches, whether those inches are measured here or here, all adding up to yards. For each yard, Kubota measures victory, and the touchdown is Parrish Tractor. Here, we're much more than a tractor store.
If you've got an outdoorsman on your Christmas list, make sure to drop into Garrett's. Quality pocket knives with the latest fishing gear of rod and reels. Maybe it's a new set of binoculars or a new scope. With one of the largest selection of firearms, you're sure to find the one you need. Protect your investment with a Browning fireproof safe. With a large selection of deer condos, including the new style, the hay bale. Come by for a quick look. It's all at Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, your Christmas headquarters. Welcome back with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. What were they saying about Newton? What did they have?
Newton was on up here. Let's see.
Yeah, they got a transit program.
They do have a transit program for the elderly in Newton.
Here, I'll get it up there for you.
I can never operate this mouse. Mine doesn't operate as well as yours.
There you go.
Yeah. East Central Planning in Newton has an elderly transport program. I think that's a wonderful thing.
It is. Helps folks.
Yes.
And they used to, before COVID, a lot of counties had the, what was it, Meals on Wheels? Is that still out there?
I think it is. I really, that is a wonderful thing, too, for the elderly who can't get out, or anyone, I guess, who can't get out to go get their meal. You know, it helps them.
All right, well, let's look at a few things that went on today. I think we've all heard of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You've also heard White Christmas by Bing Crosby. What's unique about them, they sold 3 million copies of the singles. Who was the next guy to do this and top all of this? Ooh, it was a guy named from Tupelo, Mississippi, that would tear it up with a song called Hound Dog. 3 million copies were sold on this date. That's a pretty big deal there.
That is a big deal.
Elvis Presley, that never even been thought of, that it could be done.
Song. Yeah.
Now, before I make this statement, I don't want to make nobody mad, but I know there's a lot of people that liked it. I was just not one of you that enjoyed this song.
I thought you were going to say his hair.
I didn't like that either. The whole thing around it. 1969. Anybody remember these 2 old boys that sang like a bridge over troubled water? I'll be there or something. Yeah, he was number 1 on this date. No, it was actually recorded. They went into the studio, and it would later become a song that would never go away on radio for years.
And this is
Simon and Simon,
it's Garfunkel. Is that right?
Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, that's who they are. Yeah, I couldn't remember that name. But man, yeah, look at that great hairdo he had back then. He really had it going on there.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I know a lot of people and make a lot of people mad.
No, but he had the do going on.
He did.
But that was just not my favorite song.
Yeah.
But it was huge back in the day. I promise you
that. That hairstyle's back. It's back, though, you know.
Is it?
It is. A lot of people are wearing their hair like that.
Let's see. 1990. Willie had a little issue going on in America, and his assets were seized over the IRS problems that he had. And you have to really feel for somebody like this. You own a business, you hire somebody to take care of your things, and the next thing you know, the IRS showing up your door going, we're fixing to arrest you.
Yeah.
And he's going, no, wait a minute, I paid my taxes. And it turns out the people that you hired were really crooks.
Right. That would be scary.
It would be.
And when you have a whole lot of money, I guess they think, oh, they won't ever miss this, or they won't ever catch that, or whatever. But yeah.
Willie, in the end, he owed them $16 million. They done a little trade with him and accepted $6 million in cash for all the above. And they worked it out, and Willie went on his way. Willie's getting on up there.
He is. I don't know exactly what his age is, but
I saw a song he done on the road again. He had his sons playing backup for him the other day. Interesting there.
Yeah, he's. I'm gonna say the word frail. He looks frail.
Yes, he does. You know, he canceled the concerts
is real frail sounding
in Jackson. You remember that?
Yeah, I think wasn't that
COVID.
health purposes? Yeah, health reasons.
So were you a big Willie fan all through the years?
I liked Willie Nelson. I still like Willie Nelson.
She likes red-headed strangers is what she's really trying to tell y'all.
I like his braids.
I ain't touching that. Back in 2005, and you knew the voice, and a lot of folks just didn't know what happened. He's passed away since then. But anybody remember the voice of Bob Kingsley, the guy that done American Country Countdown?
Oh, yeah. He had that iconic voice. He did.
He left the ACC on this date because they couldn't work out a contract. Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn would move into that slot, and I think Terry Clark has it now. Alabama had it there. Randy Owen had it for a little while. But he was the voice that gave you those songs each week. It ended on this date back in 2005. Hard to believe it's been that long ago.
Yeah.
1951. I never could pronounce his name really good. It was different. Nobody I went to high school with had this name.
Right.
Anybody remember him? Ferrigno?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, and also he played on the show King of Queens. He was the next door neighbor. Do you remember that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was their next door neighbor.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that show. That little guy bothered me.
Yeah. I liked it. I still like to watch it.
He just annoyed me to no end. I liked his best friend that he hung out with, but him, I just could never relate to him, and I couldn't watch that show.
Yeah.
Anybody remember the movie Trading Places? I thought it was one of Eddie Murphy's funniest. But the girl that played on there as Dan Aykroyd's fiance has a birthday today. Now, you probably don't remember her for a real name, but that's what she does.
And I don't know that I've ever seen her on anything since. Now, she might have been, and I just missed
you
it.
You blended in.
Right. She was not a standout.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if y'all want to laugh, watch that movie.
I always loved Eddie Murphy, though.
Yeah.
He's just funny. I mean, he just is. And these two together were hilarious.
Oh, him and Santa Claus. Just worked out good. 1957, I got this kind of out of order, but what was on TV Guide? One of my favorite Westerns that I really liked. Anybody remember Maverick? And James Garner played it really good. He was just a good guy. He worked out well, but he was on the cover of TV Guide back in 57. This guy, I remember watching him. Was it 60 Minutes that he was on for years?
I think so.
The name Ed Bradley, very well-spoken newsman, passed away on this date back in 06.
I didn't even know he'd passed away.
You didn't?
I didn't.
See, look, you learned something this morning.
Yeah.
We also would lose, and I don't know if you remember this guy. I knew him as his stage name. His real name. He would pass away in Houston on this date, but you'll only know him as Higgins. John Hillerman passed away, of course, from Magnum PI, him and the dogs.
Yes.
Just
he was kind of like the butler type guy. Or something.
Yeah, and in the end, that we find out at the last Magnum, he was really Robin Williams, Robin the entire time, faking it for Magnum. Okay. Did you realize that?
No, I didn't.
You know all those times he'd have to call Mr. Masters Robin, who owned everything? Well, it turned out he was really the guy that owned it all in the last show, and he'd been faking it all that time.
Okay. I did not know that.
Mr. Masters' estate. And then, of course, Obama would buy that place. I don't know if y'all know that. And bring along a bulldozer and get rid of Robin's house. He built something new. There's a new TV show out now called Quantum Leap. Well, it's really an old show. I like the first one. This guy's also on NCIS. The main character is on NCIS New Orleans. But the other guy that had the little computer that was on Quantum Leap was, well, I think it was Ziggy was the machine that they called it. Okay. His name was Dean Stockwell. He passed away on this date last year.
Was he the guy in the front right
Yeah, right there. This guy here.
Okay.
And, of course, this is the guy that's on NCIS. I like him. He's Scott something.
Yeah.
Good actor. I like him. A few things that happened on this date. Maybe you remember a few of them. Look at that. LaWanda's all into Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain with Willie over there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Unless you're right, Willie does partake of a lot of things. Even when it's legal and not illegal, he still partakes.
That's right.
Only person I know of admitted to smoking Mary Jane at the White House was Jimmy Carter's folks.
Goodness.
They say that really happened. Smoking dope up in the... How do you get... No,
I guess it's been a lot of illegal stuff done up in the White House.
It very well could be.
Yeah.
We got more to come. Y'all stay close with us. We're going to talk about the elections last night and what we know at this point. All that's on the way with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Mark your calendars for the 5th annual Hickory Pickin' Day. It's Saturday, November the 12th from 9 in the morning till 4 that afternoon with plenty of parking. With over 100 vendors inside and outside the store. Arts, crafts, clothing galore. With jewelry and antiques and those hard-to-find items. Don't forget to bring the kids along for the petting zoo. Entertainment from Meridian's own Emily White and Daniel House and many more. Mark your calendars for Hickory Pickin' Day, Saturday, November the 12th from 9 until 4 in Hickory.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Time to stop spending your entire weekend mowing grass. Step up to a Skag zero-turn lawnmower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Well, your friends at Maple's One Stop Shop, they're already hard at work this morning. They're out in Causeville right now. They got bacon flying. They got biscuits all getting together there. If you're hungry, drop in and visit them. They're also doing the same thing there at St. Paul Street, right off of I-20. A lot to do, a lot to get cooked up for lunchtime. And they've got a lot of chicken and different things. You can even get meal packages. We'll post that in a little bit, a drink and all that for like $8.99.
Yeah.
All on the way this morning. Let's see what else we got. The coffee program and cold drinks galore throughout the store that you can find, along with pizza. Also, well, you can take advantage of the ice cream, and whoop, we're starting all over again as we wait for a new lottery amount to hit.
Yeah.
Get yours today. They got a lot to choose from. Again, 6 locations from Causeville, Pine Springs, Bonita, and also Last Chance Tobacco, Broadmoor, and 31st. See them today at Maple's One Stop Shop. Now, as we got a few of this, Ziggy was, you're right, Ziggy was the computer. Al was his name, character on Quantum Leap.
Okay.
And then Scott, do you pronounce it?
Bacula.
Bacula.
Yeah.
He was the main character in the original Quantum Leap, and now off in CSI New Orleans. Pretty good show with him there also.
Yeah.
Liked him there.
I like those CSI shows, you know.
But we've missed, what's his name, the redheaded guy that stares at everything.
Wait, CSI or NCIS?
NCIS.
Yeah,
but
NCIS.
Wasn't that a spin-off of the same thing?
I'm not sure.
CIS
But, you know,
and NCIS.
I think we had a local, Jeremy Sandy was on one of those shows.
Really?
I want to say it was the New Orleans one, but I might be wrong. He was a character on one of those shows one time.
Huh.
And I was in a play with him in Meridian here. He's a really good actor. He really is.
I have to look him up. There's one of them that's on the New Orleans show that is leaving. It's not him. The main slot?
I don't think he's I hate to say because I hadn't watched it in so long. But,
Okay.
But he was on there as a character one time. I don't think it's a main character. I think it's just one of the episodes. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. One of the main characters is leaving, that country boy. You can't miss him. He's country. As we all find out last night, this is just shocking that every pollster told you that this was going to be a red wave across America last night.
Yeah.
Dr. Oz is at home now. He didn't win. I don't know how many millions were spent.
I think that is the most shocking election right there that really was shocking to me. I mean, I cannot believe that so many people voted for the Fetterman guy.
Yeah, and we're not making fun of any. I don't want anybody to take this wrong that he was sick. It just, he was clearly didn't know what he was doing sometimes.
And it really makes you wonder, how much is that going to hinder him in being able to do his job? I mean, I think that eventually maybe he would have been suitable to run. I don't know. It blows my mind that many people voted for him.
It truly was.
And a lot of things that he stands for, and the abortion issue was one of the main deciding factors, I think, through this country. It really was, they say.
It truly, yeah.
So
I was looking to see if any new information had been released. They're still hoping for sweeping results, but that has not happened here. Let me go to Fox and see if we've got anything new that's been posted in the last few moments. Because as we all know, with politics, everything just changes. Headline still Ron DeSantis, nothing new, nothing different on all that.
now there definitely was a wave down there that hit Florida. I mean, he won by a large margin, and they still, are celebrating that. But I did hear them chanting when he was giving his speech 2 more years instead of 4 more years, because I think a lot of them want him to run for president.
Florida probably does.
Yeah.
Now, as we all know, Donald has an announcement to make on the 15th. I'm going back there. We got our $5 wager
That's
here.
right.
She's saying that Trump is not going to run. I'd say without a shadow of a doubt he is. But I did read last night to where some were saying, is it time for Donald? And of course, you're going to see this. The last 4 years have been to make it to where Donald could not run for president. That was the whole thing of this. Keep his name out there. Run it down as much as you possibly can from that side to where he wouldn't be able to run. Now some are saying, since it was not a red
wave.
Yeah, that word. Is it time for him to step aside and maybe let Ron come up? I don't think Don feels that way.
Well, I know this is a lost cause, me saying this, but I think if Donald Trump does run, like a lot of people think he's going to, I think if he does, I just think that he needs to control his, have a little more of a filter between here and here. I just really do. I don't know. I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Maybe like give his ego a little.
But I don't think he can do that.
Calm it down,
What is he, 70-something?
Yeah.
I just don't think Donald has it in him.
And, I am all for people be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, speak your mind. I think people should speak their mind, but I don't think he should boast so much about himself. I just think that turns a lot of people off. It does.
No, I agree with you on that.
Did he do great things in this country? I think he did. He brought this country to a better place. A lot of people might not agree with me when I say that, but I do think that it was in a better place, definitely, than what it is now. It's got to be brought back out of the pits of
that word.
Yeah. I mean, because it has gotten really bad in this
What
country.
does this say for America right now? As we all know, gas is up, interest rates are up, everything's going, but still it was not a red wave there. Does that say, are people okay with not having money?
I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't. I mean, because when you vote that in, when you vote in that direction, you're voting for no change in my mind.
Now, Mary Hayes says, back up a minute now. She said that was her favorite part about Donald because you didn't know what he was going to tweet.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people like that, but it does turn a lot of people off. I think he was a great president. I mean, I would probably vote for him again if it was me. But
Lonnie is the only person this side of the Mississippi River that's going in Candace's corner with that $5.
I'm serious though. Like I really think it's a possibility that Ron DeSantis could run for president.
Oh, he could, but our bet is that Don's running. You think he won't? Yeah, he will.
You know, they say a lot of people have said that it did kind of hurt some of the candidates with him coming out saying he was going to make an announcement on the 15th.
No, that was said last night.
I really think that should have not been said. I really wish he'd have waited till after the election to say that.
He almost did. I
wish he would have.
But he did. We have to give him kudos for making the announcement before the elections.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not trying to run Donald Trump down. I'm really not, because I've always,
When they're waiting on you outside, I ain't coming out with you.
I'm just saying, though, you got to think outside the box when stuff like this is going on. You can't just be like, what's going on? I mean, you got to kind of put yourself in other people's positions.
Y'all keep in mind, this is, and with all sincereness of what is coming out, he does have an announcement coming the 15th. Yeah. I do believe he's going to announce that he's going to run. All of this, he is probably the most mistreated person in the United States of the attacks that have gone on against him of any other president that ever existed. I think he is a person that no matter what people do to him, he has a focus. He knows what's at the end of the tunnel, and no matter what this side does or this side does to him, his path never wavers. He stays straight. Now, he might stop along the way and go, yo, hey, you. Yeah, bubblehead over there. And he'll tell him what he thinks about him. And sometimes others think that sways his path. Mm-hmm. But he is track on. He does have distractions from once or twice. Mm-hmm. But at the end, he never lets one side falter him on what he's up to.
Mm-hmm. Put all, feelings aside about if you like somebody because of what they said or whatever. What they do, like what they did for the country. I mean, the country was, to me, more energy independent when he was in office. We need to be self-sufficient in this country. We don't need to be asking people overseas for, oil and stuff like that. I mean, we could be self-sufficient totally,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of jobs were lost in our country, that went overseas. And I don't know, I just think that, and there's jobs available out there, but when you have a government that's constantly paying people not to work,
oh boy,
do you think they're going to go work? No.
I got a text on this, and this is well worth notable mention. Alabama elected their very first female to head off to go to Washington there. She's the first one elected to Senate in Alabama. Now, there were some other statistics that I saw that I'm not going to repeat of people that were elected, and what they do when they're not in office should not be considered. What's going to happen in Georgia, we don't know. It looks like a runoff is headed. They're at like 48, within a few tenths of each other. Herschel Walker's who we're talking about. That is going to be a special election and a runoff coming. So y'all be ready for that. Brian Kemp defeated Stacey Abrams in Georgia for governor. That's twice.
Right.
I think the people of Georgia want him.
Arkansas has a new governor.
Oh, I forgot to talk about that.
That's right. So.
That made a first of them having a first female governor, and it being the fact that a father-daughter, has that ever happened?
I don't think it has. I really don't. But I think she was great, when she was the spokesperson at the White House. I thought she did good. I think people were mean to her.
They were.
Yeah. But I think she'll do a good job. I really do.
I respect her because she's one of those also that can keep focus and keep that hand over the back of the LTD seat and spank kids and never miss a beat. That woman was you couldn't pull anything past her.
That's right.
I like that.
Huckabee Sanders. Yeah, I think it's going to be good for Arkansas. I really do. I think she's got a good heart, and her being a mother, I think she's got that side, of her that she can see through a lot of people's eyes.
Yes, she can.
So.
I was looking here to see if there's anything new that is saying any new There's Meghan McCain, of course, jumping on the bandwagon this morning, saying that last night was the final nail in Donald Trump's political coffin. She's saying that he will lose at this point. Kerry Lake, we hadn't talked about that. What's going on in Arizona? They had another mishap at the election polls.
Yeah. It was a big glitch in the system to where the printers weren't working. And then they tried to petition to have 3 more hours of voting time because that had happened, and the judge said no.
And now we are seeing that she's going down. So most likely she's not going to win. We don't know that. We're just saying that headlines look as though it's not faring well for her, and as voting continues on that. We also see that Facebook laying off 11,000 people today. They're getting an email. They'll be packing their bags a little bit later. A lot going on across America right now.
Yep.
Scotty, Ray, and Candace, y'all stay with us. We'll be right back as we continue our coverage this morning.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Well, as we turn to the farm supply, they got a lot going on there. A little thing called deer season, getting ready to kick off with gun season just a weekend or so away. As we get this, game cameras galore, anything that you might need as a deer attractant, they've got that, from scents to blocks, all of that there, including deer feeders and, of course, stands. If you need a new blind, they've got those there for you at the farm supply. As we move into the gift shop, Christmas times are coming.
That's right.
A lot to look at. Maybe you need wrapping paper.
Oh, they've got anything you could possibly think of there. Beautiful things. So if you're getting ready to decorate for Christmas, you got to go check them out.
Pretty red bows and things of that nature there at the gift shop. Can't miss all of that. Drop in, find yourself a Christmas tree or whatever it is that you may need to make your holiday a little bit brighter there, or your Christmas. Let me rephrase that. They've got it all there. Work boots and so much more for the working guy, woman, whatever you may be, that needs something there to protect your feet. They got that for you, including everything for your hogs, pigs. Maybe you got some cows or some horses. They got all your sweet feed that you need. You'll find it at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off the interstate there.
You're getting ready to buy Christmas presents. Y'all need to check them out, too, because the gift shop has candles and, boots, like you said, for the
I like all of that. Yeah. Let's see what else we have seen here. Ozzy Osbourne is backing up going, wait a minute. I said I was moving, but I take that back. I'm going to go ahead and stay here in the U.S. We do find that out this morning here. Tiffany's, you've always heard of that jewelry place. Did I say that word right?
Jewelry, yeah.
I almost make it sound like I'm saying going to jury duty with my jewelry.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
But the lady who is inheriting all of this, who is 71, has fell from her cruise off a boat. She's assumed that she's passed away, had a break-in into her room at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then she falls off the ship. Is there more to it? We don't know.
My goodness.
Ooh. They're calling her a tycoon, and she owns the entire empire.
And
she is dead.
It says her boyfriend took 20 hours to report her missing. That's kind of odd.
Things that make you go,
That's odd.
It is. I agree with you on that. Still a beautiful lady there. 71. That is awful that would happen. Protect yourself there. Let's see here. In folks that are so upset that Elon now owns Twitter. Maybe it's going to get back to being normal to where you can say what you want to. But this is not going to bother me, and I think it's a short-lived thing. Whoopi Goldberg and Gigi have deleted their Twitter accounts.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what I heard that Whoopi's real name is? It's not Whoopi.
What is it?
Guess.
I have no clue.
Karen.
No.
Karen is her real name.
I didn't know
really
that.
is. I did not know that.
And the only
But
reason...
she don't go by Karen. She goes by Whoopi. So.
And she played such a great part in Ghost.
Yeah. I used to love watching her in movies. Like, what was the one where she was a nun?
Sister Act.
Yeah, the Sister Act, and they did the music and stuff. She just totally has turned me off, though, from watching her.
Politics can do that to you.
I don't really tend to watch that.
But what's going to happen with this, and y'all think about this, all the people that are on Twitter were always on there because they got reactions. If they go away, there's no one to see their views. Mm-hmm. So in the end, they will come back because they like to complain. Now, she can say that she's gone forever. Most likely, she'll be back. They like to cause a stir, and the only way to do that is in front of millions of people.
What does he do? And he's charging $8 a month. Have you seen that for the
to
check?
verify.
Verify, yeah.
After you reach a certain amount of followers, you can buy the check mark to say that there's not somebody else with this account.
Okay.
This is really me.
Yeah.
And he's going to charge for that. He had talked about $20 at first and dropped the fee to $8.
Yeah.
So we'll see on that. But that's why these people are on these accounts, is to cause stir. And if they go away, they'll be irrelevant. So they're coming back.
Yeah.
As we look at that, let's see here. Kathy Griffin, who had her account taken away from her. Remember the lady that held Donald Trump's head?
Oh, yeah. I thought after that, I just thought that was way out of line.
She was banned from Twitter for life because of getting Elon's face and acting like it was his account. Mm-hmm. Well, she's been banned, but then she got access to her mother who passed away's account and went on there and started making comments. We'll see what becomes of it. See if Mama gets banned also there. Yeah. Megyn Kelly is ripping into the New York Times this week for misinformation about the Paul Pelosi attack. They're saying, you didn't tell the truth. She goes, wait a minute. What happened to journalism in America when you could question what people do? And I agree with Megyn on this.
Well, if it was on the other side of the aisle, they'd be bombarded with questions. So.
She will forever go down in history as Rosie O'Donnell. That changed a lot of people's minds of her, but she did use it to her advantage, and she made a lot of money out of that question.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's what she done. She's no longer at Fox. She does her own thing.
Right.
But I do agree with Megyn on that. If you can't question somebody, journalism is gone in America. Just because somebody says it's true doesn't necessarily mean it. We used to have people that investigated that. All right, we've had a great time. Thank y'all for joining us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow.
Have a good day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: